Welcome, everyone. This is our Tuesday night get together, and each week we are exploring different topics that make up Michelle's formula for success. So tonight we're actually going to look at fixed versus growth mindset and just some key aspects about that can impact on the way you think about your business and the way you run your business. So I'm just going to pop the slide up. So as I said, it's Michelle's formula for success, and tonight is fixed versus growth mindset. So kick back, just relax, grab yourself a cuppa or a glass of vino, depending where you are and what time of day it is for you. And tonight we're actually going to look at the differences between growth and fixed mindset and what you as a business owner or just in your personal life can do to focus on making changes in your mindset. So there's many reasons why people just like yourselves would want to understand more about fixed versus growth mindset and how this actually relates to success. For example, did you know that someone with a fixed mindset or having a fixed mindset can physically prevent you from learning from your mistakes, while having a growth mindset can actually empower you to look at your mistakes as learning opportunities and an opportunity to improve? Now, someone with a growth mindset views intelligence, abilities, and talents as learnable and capable of improvement through effort. On the other hand, someone with a fixed mindset views these same traits as inherently stable and unchangeable over time. So basically, what you have is what you've got, and you can't really expect to have any more. So for a business owner with a fixed mindset, they're likely to view negative feedback as a sign that they perhaps don't have the ability to make a valuable product or to provide a useful service. And this can result in either avoiding feedback for fear of rejection, or not going ahead with ideas, not testing new products, or ending up with a bad product and market fit, or in some cases, actually even just giving up on their venture altogether. Now, there's one lady who's quite prominent in this field. Her name is Carol Dweck. She's done a lot of research around fixed and growth mindset. And in 2006, she did a study where her team actually analysed students' brain activity whilst they were actually getting the feedback from mistakes that they'd made on a test. And what she found is that those with a fixed mindset really showed no brain activity in the area where they were measuring when reviewing the mistakes, whereas the brains of those students with a growth mindset showed processing activities as the mistakes were being reviewed. Now, there's no actual research about the percentage of people who have either a growth or a fixed mindset, and there's really not any validated way to measure either of these states. It is quite subjective. However, Carol Dweck has said that when looking at students, roughly 40% of students have what she would classify as a fixed mindset, but she also says that everyone is a mixture of fixed and growth, and that an absolute pure growth mindset really doesn't exist. So we are all somewhere on a continuum, some closer to growth, some closer to fixed, and lots of people in between, which means that because it exists on a continuum, you can actually make changes. Now, further in her research, she also found that employees of companies with a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. So now I'm talking about the company itself, that the employees in these sort of companies are 47% likelier to see their colleagues as trustworthy, 34% likelier to feel a strong sense of ownership and commitment to the company, 65% more likely to say that the company supports risk-taking, and 49% likelier to say that the company fosters innovation. So these are all definitely positive aspects that I'm sure you would like to see in your business. So when we're looking at mindset, let's talk a little bit about what you can actually do to change your mindset. You might recognize characteristics in yourself that lean towards having a fixed mindset, and you'd be thinking, well, as a business owner, I want to be more on the growth side of the spectrum. So like any change, it's not actually going to be all that easy, but you will find that if you make an effort, it's worth the advantages of developing that growth mindset. So there's around about 8 general approaches for developing the foundations for such a mindset. And the first one is create a new compelling belief. That's a belief in yourself, in your own skills and abilities, and in your capacity for positive change. Now, the second one is view failure in a different light. Look at it differently. See failure as an opportunity to learn from your experiences and from what's happened, so that you can actually then apply what you've learned the next time around. The third one is cultivate your self-awareness. Work on becoming more aware of your talents, your strengths, and your weaknesses, and actually get feedback from people who know you the best. If you're brave enough, ask people to give you a detailed feedback on how they perceive you and how they see you, and put all of it together so that you've actually got a really comprehensive view of yourself. Now, number 4 is be curious and commit to lifelong learning. I mean, my philosophy is, you never stop learning, and I'm always reading and listening to books, and I feel as if I stop learning, that'll be the day I stop learning will be the day I die. So, but what I would encourage you to do is, from the curiosity factor, if you look at children, try and adopt the attitude of a child, where you look around you with awe, amazement, wonderment, and children ask questions. And when you ask questions, really listen to the answers that you get. Now, the next thing, number 5, is get friendly with challenges. Now, know that if you want to accomplish anything worthwhile, you will actually face challenges on your journey, and prepare yourself for those challenges and for failing sometimes. Know that it's not going to be a straight line between A and B. It will go all over the place, and sometimes you'll feel like you're going 2 steps forward and 1.99 steps backwards. But do keep going. Next one is do what you love and love what you do. Now, it's much easier to actually succeed when you are passionate about what you're doing. Now, whether you also need to cultivate a love for what you're already doing, sometimes you actually can't change where you are right now, or you get to do your passion plus a whole pile of other things in your business that you don't particularly like doing, but learn to cultivate an appreciation for those things as well. I mean, it's always possible to find a positive in anything. The next one is be tenacious. As I've said, it's not easy making a change, and it can take a lot of hard work to succeed in business. And sometimes it takes even more than just working hard. You actually have to be really tenacious and really committed to getting back up if you do actually fall over. And then the last one is to inspire and be inspired by others. It can be tempting to envy others when they succeed, especially if they've gone further and faster than you, but it won't help you to succeed. And the other thing is, commit to being an inspiration to others and use the success of others to get inspiration as well. Now, you might be thinking you don't actually do anything special enough to be an inspiration for someone else. But what I've discovered over the years is sometimes just by being you, by living a good life, and just doing the things that you enjoy, other people can take inspiration from that. And I've actually been quite surprised a few times in my life when people have said to me, oh, I see you out walking all the time and you've really inspired me to take action. And it doesn't actually occur to me that by sharing that I go walking, I am going to be inspiring people, but apparently I do. So make sure you remember that people watch what you do, and it could be the simplest thing that actually inspires somebody to take action. Now, what if, as you think about making a journey of developing a growth mindset, let me just run through a few of the questions or the comments I get from people who are going along this journey. And the first one is, I've tried to make changes like those that you've suggested in the steps above, but have really struggled to be consistent. So what this is about is understanding how you best develop habits and move towards your new goals. And one of the best ways to do this is to pick one thing that you want to change and then break it right down into really small, manageable chunks. For example, with learning, your goal could be to read one personal development book each month. Now, if you set aside the time each day and read just 10 pages a day, and you commit to doing that every day for a year, that's 3,650 pages. So if we say an average of 250 pages per book, that's over 14 books in a year. So when you break it down into those smaller chunks, and you just commit to, I will read 10 pages every day, you build on that, you build on that, you build on that, and all of a sudden, that whole compounding effect, and you've actually achieved your goal of reading all those new books. Another thing I get asked is, I understand the idea of creating a new belief, but I struggle to do this for myself. So what can I do? So to really go in depth and answer this fully would actually take more time than what we've got left, and more on top of that. However, one way to actually start looking at this is, your story diverges from reality. And what I mean by this is pay attention to your inner dialogue and notice when it starts with statements such as I always, I'm always, or I never. So these are the thoughts that we default to when we face something difficult. If you think back to being a child and identify what experiences complete these sentences for you. For example, if you might have decided that you have a fear of flying, and every time you think about it, you just say to yourself, I can never go on, I can never get on a plane, I can't do that. Or I'm always afraid when I'm on a plane. So think back to where that statement came from. Where did it first start? And then what more recent experiences have you had that have caused you to actually continue that story on? Now, if you can come up with these moments of awareness, that can help shut down that narrative, the ones that start with I always, I'm always, I never, and actually changing that story is the first step in changing the belief. Now, here's an interesting one. How do I work out if I have a growth mindset or a mixture of both? Well, you can get an idea of where you sit by analyzing your behavior and your responses to different situations. We do also have a little quick quiz that we could do today. So if you are game, grab a pen and paper and get ready to record your scores. Now, as we go through the statements and the questions, what I want you to do is simply choose the number that corresponds with how you feel about the statement, with 0 meaning you strongly disagree and 3 meaning you strongly agree. So on the screen there, you can see the scale. Strongly disagree is 0, disagree is 1, agree is 2, and strongly agree is 3. So we're just going to run through, we've just got 15 questions, so it won't take very long. The first statement, the statement's not questions, so let me think about that and reword that. The first one is intelligence is a trait you can't change. So give that a score. Number 2, intelligence can change with hard work and perseverance. Give that a score from 0 to 3. Number 3 is I feel bad about myself when I make mistakes, and then my confidence suffers. So have you scored that one? The number 4, mistakes are valuable learning opportunities. Where do you sit on that spectrum? 0, 1, 2, or 3? Number 5 is I feel nervous about taking on new challenges and trying new things. I prefer to avoid them. Number 6 is I enjoy trying new things and taking on new challenges. Number 7, I hope I'm not going too fast for everyone. Only a few people are extremely talented and they are born with it. 0, 1, 2, or 3. Number 8, the harder you work at something, the more skilled you will become. Number 9, I often feel discouraged or angry when I receive negative feedback about my performance. Number 10, I appreciate feedback from others and feel that it helps me improve. 0, 1, 2, or 3. Number 11, people rarely change much. You are simply a certain kind of person. Number 12, learning is a lifelong pursuit, and I enjoy learning new things. Number 13, if I try something several times and I'm still not good at it, I decide it isn't for me. Number 14, when I'm not good at something at first, I keep practicing. Even a little progress makes a difference. Do you strongly agree? Do you disagree? Do you strongly agree? And lucky last, number 15, naturally intelligent people don't need to try hard to succeed. Strongly disagree is 0, disagree is 1, agree is 2, strongly agree is 3. So now what I want you to do is quickly add up your score, and let's have a look and see where you sit on the scale. So if you scored somewhere between 32 to 45, this is where you would be classified as a growth mindset person. 25 to 31, growth mindset with some fixed ideas. 16 to 24, fixed mindset with some growth ideas. And then 15 and under as fixed mindset. Bear in mind that this is not definitive. This is just meant to give you perhaps a little bit of an idea of where you might sit on the continuum and whether it's actually sparked some ideas or some areas that you might like to work on. So for me, I just wanted to share with you that a key part of my Foundations of Success program is working with you to understand exactly where you are right now and what we need to do to get you where you want to be. Like there is no right or wrong. It's where you want to be and what your goals are. Now, often this will involve mindset work, and we will need to work on ways to maybe expand your thinking or remove a roadblock or an obstacle that might be there. So the way that I can help you with this is for you just to book in, have a complimentary 30-minute business health check with me, and we can work through a strategy to suit you and look at how we can get the process started. So comment below this video, business health check, and I will send you the link to book in. And all that is left to say is thank you very much. I have really enjoyed sharing this information with you tonight, and I hope you had a little bit of fun doing the quiz. Don't take it too seriously, and that you came away with something of value from tonight. So until next week when we get together, and I do this every week and I still haven't learned, the topic next week will be meditation. I'm going to just spend a little bit of time exploring how and why this works. And I was actually thinking we might just do a nice, peaceful, calming meditation to finish off with. So make sure you join us next week. And if you have any questions or you want to talk to me, just use the link, book in, and I will see you soon. And until we talk again, always remember that you have everything you already need within you. You just need to find it. Thanks so much.